everyone, on today's episode of Huber Syndrome, it's Halloween. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. Halloween is just a few days away, so I'm here to just make some last minute recommendations to try to find the perfect movie or game to fit your needs, to fit your mood. Let's dive in. First on the list, Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. You've probably heard about this movie a lot. It is a classic. I don't want you to put it off because you've heard about it your entire life. If you still haven't seen The Shining, remedy that immediately. Put it on, go to the haunted hotel, and get lost in Stanley Kubrick's masterpiece. Every single frame of this movie is as beautiful as a painting. It has an unforgettable look and feel and mood, and there's a reason we still talk about it decades later. Sometimes I'll put horror off that I haven't seen if it is extremely popular and I pretty much know what's going on. If you haven't seen The Shining, maybe you've seen the Simpsons episode or one of the numerous parodies out there, you may have an idea of how things play out, but I encourage you to dive in if you haven't. 10 out of 10, the best. Next on the list, a little something more off the radar. Cairo. Also known as Pulse, this movie was released right around the time of The Ring and The Grudge, and also had an American remake starring Veronica Mars and Damon Salvatore. This is my new obsession. This is my wailing of 2020. It's an older movie, but I just discovered it, and I am hooked. I've been in the mood this year. Most of my Halloween watching has been about lonely ghost stories, and this is maybe the loneliest ghost story I've ever seen. It is a flawed masterpiece. Some of the characters are okay. It can drag on a little bit. It clocks in at 2 hours, but the mood and the story of this movie are unforgettable. I watched it weeks ago now, and I still think about it. I can't get it out of my mind. It's the best horror movie I've watched this month. Check it out, Pulse. It was absolutely ahead of its time. There's some commentary about the internet and commentary just about the human connection and bonds we form. I cannot recommend this movie enough. If you are gonna watch it, be warned, as with most horror movies, there is some disturbing material in there, but if you can stomach it, if you're ready for it, check it out. Slow burning dread. And those are a couple horror movies for your Halloween viewing. One legendary masterpiece, one forgotten masterpiece. Now let's turn our attention to some video games. You know what's coming. Resident Evil. Resident Evil 2, the original, is my favorite game of all time, but Resident Evil 1 Remake is the best Halloween game of all time. Kind of like The Shining, you know, just a haunted house, a haunted location that is just beautiful to look at and beautiful to be in. Just wandering the halls of the Spencer Mansion is a joy. If you haven't played Resident Evil 1 Remake and you're watching Huber Syndrome right now, I don't even know what to tell you. This game has been ported to every single console of all time. Check it out if you haven't. The origins, the beginning of the franchise, Resident Evil 1 Remake, the best place to start. Just watch out for those Crimson Heads. Next on the list, it's a grab bag tailor-made for your needs. What are you craving? Are you craving some action horror? Maybe it's time to dive into fear. First encounter Assault Recon and take out some freakos with slow motion. Maybe you're in the mood for little jump scares. Look no further than Outlast. Guaranteed, you will throw the controller across the room at least one time. Jump scares for days. Maybe you're craving a little something more thought-provoking, a little more slow burn. You want to think, you want to do some puzzles. Check out Amnesia: The Dark Descent. or the recently released Rebirth. Both will freak you out to your bones. Maybe you've played every Resident Evil 15 times, but for some weird reason, you haven't given The Evil Within a chance. Check it out. Maybe you're in the mood for a little science fiction. Check out the long-forgotten, disrespected by Electronic Arts Dead Space. Or maybe you want to play with some friends and you're in the mood for a little campy, co-op horror, Until Dawn, best in the biz for that. Or maybe Halloween is just too spooky and you want something really jolly. Maybe it's time to hang out with Luigi. Or if you've played every single one of these games and you've got your finger on the pulse, pun intended, then check out Visage, coming out of early access on the 30th. People have been raving about this in early access. It is a spiritual successor to PT, and it looks absolutely terrifying. This comes out on October 30th, an All Hallows Eve release. Light some candles and get in the zone. Or lastly, you just want to hang out with me, Ian, and Bloodworth, so check out our stream at 5 p.m. October 30th on Easy Allies Twitch of the Dark Pictures anthology, Little Hope. We'll be doing a full playthrough starting at 5 o'clock, so join us as we bring in Halloween together. It's gonna be cozy. We'll talk about some of these movies. Maybe you watched some, maybe you played some games. It's gonna be a good time. Grab some popcorn and candy, grab a blanket, and settle in. So that's gonna do it for the episode. I am Michael P. Huber. You can check us out at Easy Allies. Those are some horror recommendations for movies and video games. We are just days away, and hopefully I'll see you for the Little Hope stream. Have a good one.